Guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome to a special edition of the No Limit Wrestling Show. As in this one, we will be reviewing Pro Wrestling Noah's N1 Victory tournament for the year of 2025. Obviously, the last episode we did, it was us previewing the G1. People surprisingly like that, even though I bashed the whole tournament, and turns out I was on the right side of history. But hey, we'll see. Honestly, I expect more people to watch this one than the G1 because
More of
nobody's
an N1 guy.
previewing this tournament other than like us. So, and I'm going to be reviewing this whole tournament. I can't say the same for most other content creators, and that's not a knock at them. It's just that Noah is kind of bastardized amongst the content creation and pro wrestling space in comparison to New Japan, which is funny. But um, yeah, man. As always, I'm joined by Dylan. Dylan, how are you, my friend? Ready to talk in one?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I worked and then I caught up on Noah as much as I could
Mm-hmm.
because I was a bit behind, obviously, with three tournaments going on until a few days
Mm-hmm.
ago. Now there's only two, lovely. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I caught up and I'm ready to talk all about the N1. I'm actually pretty excited for the N1 this year because a couple of guys that I really like are in it that weren't last year.
Yep.
Um, So I'm excited to talk about. I'm excited to kind of get into it. I will say, as someone who does usually enjoy seeing what foreign guy they get into it, I'm very disappointed this year
This
by the.
is the year we should have went no foreigners if you don't already work here.
Yeah. I mean, like if they were just gonna bring in fucking Ricky Knight Jr., I would like because I don't know. I think Noah. I had this
Okay,
perception of Noah.
listen.
Go ahead.
First things first, before we even hop into the blocks and all that, Noah discovering the UK wrestling scene is one of the worst things that happened to my pro
Yeah.
wrestling fandom.
Yeah.
I've had to watch Kaito Kiyomiya go 50-50 with fucking Archie Cole, and it pisses me off so much. But I think if, like, Will Cruz just did a tour, and all he did was just set himself up as a challenger just for Galeno to beat. That's fine. If they did that same thing with Ricky Knight Jr., I would have no problem. Just come into your tour,
Mhm.
lose, and get out of my sight. I feel like we're wasting the N1 spot here. Okay.
100%. I feel like even if we're giving it to a foreigner, there were so many better foreigners that
I
wrestled in this company in the past year. Fucking
somebody
put Saxon Huxley in over fucking Art Ricky Knight Jr.
I was so confident that Hayata was going heavyweight and joining the tournament, and he still might go heavyweight. However, I would have taken Hayata over Ricky Knight Jr.
I would too. I don't even like Hayata, but I would too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it
I
it really does feel like a waste. Regardless of how you kind of look at it.
mhm.
We'll talk about how actually I don't even know how he fits in. I don't know how they're gonna treat him here, but yeah. Beyond that, I'm excited for these blocks. I think they're pretty interesting. I'm
Yeah.
excited for questions that we got asked by people on Twitter. Uh, Xavi at Xaviism with three eyes
Yep.
tweeted for questions, and we got some of them, and we'll talk about them at the end. But yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, me too, man. I have been planning an N1 series, um, like since they announced like all the because they announced the dates of the shows and like where they would be, like where the final would be and all that, like months ago. We just got the blocks now because they had so many shows lined up, and they actually care about Corkins this year, so they were like waiting till after this most recent Corkin. Um, so like I'm excited. I'm glad that we got the blocks now. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump into the first of the two blocks. Do you have the graphic?
I do.
I'll read off the A block first. We'll talk about it before I read off the B block, and then we talk about that. I think this is a similar case to G1 where the A block is just super strong in comparison to the B. I still expect a lot of good stuff out of the B. I don't think it's as weak as G1's B block. I think they're pretty balanced now that I'm actually looking at them. It's just the A's probably got a lower chance of failure as far as hit rate goes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Um, like to me, like the person who might just have the worst performance is either Oka because of inexperience, and even then, I still enjoy Oka, or Fujita because he's Fujita. But even then, I also enjoy because he's Fujita. But to get into the A block here, real quick, we have the GHC heavyweight champion making his return to Noah round robin action, Kenta. We have last year's winner, Kaito Kiyomiya. We have Manabu Soya, we have Oka Sasaki, we have the return of Kazuyuki Fujita, who was not in last year's tournament. Tetsuya Endo from DDTs making his N1 victory debut, and the chairman Masakita Miya from Team 2000X, and Daga from Team 2000X also making his debut now that he is a newly minted heavyweight. Uh, like when I saw this graphic when I woke up, this was the block that got me all excited, just because I
Oh
think
yeah.
there's so much potential in this one block. I kind of had an idea. I had already started like trying to figure out what an ideal final would be before the blocks like came out, and most of the people I had in final scenarios are all in A blocks. So it's just like, all right, cool. I'm not complaining, but you really messed with my mindset here. But before I expand on this block, what is I keep up with Noah probably a lot more than you do, just because you
Mm.
have so much you have to keep up with as far as doing Stardom Quest weekly. What was your initial thoughts upon seeing this field whenever this graphic was released?
On the A block,
Yeah,
I
A block, sorry.
immediately I I am a bit more casual with Noah, so
Hmm.
this is the take of
But
most
still,
people.
you like
I'm
Noah.
into it. I really like Noah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think this is the take of most people is that it's like I'm excited to see Kenta against every one of these guys, especially Kenta and Fujita. Sounds super like it sounds very volatile, which is one of the most fun things a match can be in a round robin tournament. Um, because you never want matches to feel samey.
Hmm.
And something tells me, hot take, Kenta and Fujita won't have a very samey match.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I really like this block, frankly. Like you said, it's like I think Oka and Fujita have the lowest floor here because specifically in Noah this year, I've become a pretty big fan of Tetsuya Endo. I've thought that his work, even you know, despite having some weak performances to do with Team 2000X, either against or with them, I've thought that he's worked pretty well with the Noah style, better
Hmm.
than I thought he did with the DDT style
Hmm.
for the most part. So I've really enjoyed him in Noah, and I'm excited for him, for example. It feels like a pretty high level block overall. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Everybody I find an interesting match amongst them. Like obviously Massa, Massa and Big Chairman, or no, Massa is the chairman.
Yeah.
Massa and fucking Soya
Yeah.
used to be a tag team. Really like them as a tag team briefly, uh,
I
and
was gonna say it
that would
was
be
very, very, very short.
that was when I first really started sinking my teeth into Noah, and I was super excited about their tag team. Then it went nowhere, so I'm very excited for that singles. Um, and yeah, I just think that like all these matches are very interesting overall, and obviously the big ones, Kenta and Kaito.
Yeah,
So
that's opening night.
yeah, like that's and I like that because if it was on the final night, it would be a different
Yeah.
vibe, I think. But being opening night, it's like that's really going to start the tournament off at a
I
high
mean,
point.
if you don't mind, I'll kind of go through just to help some of our viewers who
Mm,
aren't, sinking their teeth in the know and are just trying to either check out the tournament or they're just watching this to try to learn. I'll kind of just go through every participant and how I feel like they've, done this year and all that. Just to provide a little insight on what you can expect from all of them or what they've been up to this year. So Kenta's coming in. He's basically reborn. I feel like Kenta is the ultimate. When you think he's dead, he's not dead, because it feels like it was over. He was bottom ranking member of New Japan, or I mean Bullet Club, working New Japan Strong. It felt like that was it, and then he went back home to Noah and he just turned back the clock and he's just been great all year. Like it, and that's one of the things that kind of annoys me is when people do check into the big Kenta matches like him versus Kano. Like I see people who I know aren't watching like the house shows or like any of the smaller shows or
mm,
seeing like him in like 6-man tags or any of that. They're like, oh, Kenta's washed, but hey, he was pretty good in this. And I was like, he's been good all year.
yeah.
He's been very good all year. um, and I'm excited to have him back. Him as GAC heavyweight champion feels right. I'm excited for not only his N1 just from an in-ring standpoint, but I think Kenta's the best case scenario as GHC heavyweight champion going into a round robin tournament,
Mm,
just because I think one of the things that I hate to admit that he learned a lot in WWE and got to do a lot in New Japan is being able to tell stories so effortlessly that he's going to be able to tell a lot of stories in this tournament against all these different people. And that's really fun for me. Kaito, he's had a quiet year outside of the two big Ozawa matches, and
Mhm.
people call him a geek, but I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. I think he took a step back just so Ozawa could be the man this year, and that's okay. Obviously, I would have loved to get him like in the Natty title picture or like winning the tag titles or something. But Kaito's in a situation where he's not like an ace like Okada or Miyahara who
Mhm.
feels like they need to always be involved.
I
He
I
feels like
think
there's other areas within the company he can help with if he's not in the title picture.
I think that's a frustrating thing that Okada kind of spurred on
Hmm.
is like this idea that like a top guy can't challenge for non-top guy titles.
Not even
Um,
that, but like, because I mean, he challenged for the tag titles a few times. He
well,
lost,
okay,
but
can't hold them, I guess, is a better word.
and like
Because like,
once again, he's held them, but I think it's just a sentiment
yeah,
of
true, true, true.
people because of Okada feel like if you're not fighting for the world title, then you're like failing as an ace. If you're
Yeah,
losing in big matches, you're failing. When I don't necessarily agree with
like, and
that.
this is gonna sound bad, and I hate that I even bring them up within the first 12 minutes, but like Shota Umino
Hmm.
is the perfect example of a guy who like should have challenged for an undercard belt
Hmm.
by now, and he just doesn't. I mean, but like clearly he would do better challenging for like the never belt or whatever.
Hmm.
Kaito's the opposite. Kaito could be forever world champion, and I don't think anybody would complain except for, hey, can we break it up to give Kenta a little bit? Like I
Yeah,
don't think that's like that. Like I think that's my perspective on Kaito because
and
he is
I
just a high
think
level wrestler.
and
Go
I
ahead.
think not just because of Ozawa's surge of popularity, I think Noah people who weren't watching Noah, and I know who weren't watching because y'all had Zack Sabre Jr. as Wrestler of the Year last year, you little bitch. Tokyo Sports, y'all have. You need to hand him his MVP. But Noah relied on Kaito so much last year, the
Oh yeah.
entirety of last year, to the point by the time he dropped to Ozawa, people probably weren't like didn't peep it, but like his elbow was taped up. He was probably hurting really bad because you got to think about time it was time for Oiwa to go back to New Japan. They just said, you know what, Kaito, you're the man. Go run wild. And Kaito was just kind of like, you know what, I am the man. I should just beat everybody. And
And
he
even
had his,
before that, he was the special singles match king. I mean, I
yeah,
still
yeah,
think about the Yuma Anzai match
yeah, yeah,
earlier in the year.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
just tremendous. Um,
yeah.
Kaito was really working last year. Yeah.
And like I said, he held the title for the entire year until, well, he won it at Ryogoku, held it the entire year, dropped toes out at the start of the year. And I think they were just kind of not because of the booze or anything, even though they acknowledged it and tried to make it part of his character. I think it's just more of a, give him some rest, but also you don't want to overexpose your ace.
Hmm.
Ultimately, people will get tired. And when they get tired, you have to do something different. And I do think there is, a scenario where Kaito works just as a dickish tweener or even a heel at some point, but I just don't think it's now just because
No.
he has this faction filled with people he needs to help get over first before you do anything else. Like people call All Rebellion a failure when in reality All Rebellion was made for the people outside of Kaito in it. It's for him to elevate all those people up to a level. That way, when this group disbands inevitably, because Noah groups always disband within like 2 years. Um,
Yeah.
when this group disbands inevitably, everybody who entered the group is bigger coming out of it than they were going in.
Yeah.
Uh, Kaito's a rare case where like he was the ace when the fucking faction started. So like, how much bigger can he really get? Um, but even in a quieter year, I think his work is still really good. I'm excited. I hope he works more snug in this one. I think the good thing for Kaito in this tournament is he doesn't have a story. As crazy as that
Mhm.
may sound, he doesn't have a path, so he can just go out there and work. And that's really a weight off of his shoulders and just the whole tournament. I actually have him winning the tournament, but
Oh,
I'll
really?
get into that later. But next up, we have Nabusoya, who obviously got his own group. So it's an interesting one because I like the natty title stuff at the start of the year
Hmm.
with Indo. I thought they had
Same.
actually really good chemistry.
As do I. As do I.
Um,
I'm excited for that match specifically. That
Yeah,
that running that back.
especially since it's face versus face now. I'm
Mhm,
excited to see how that turns out. I think they have good chemistry, and I love the just entire idea of passionate rattles and the group as a whole, especially now. It's just a fun faction for Soya to lead. I hope he steps it up in this one, just because I think that Inaba has outshined him and outclassed
mhm.
him ever since coming back and joining the group.
That's because he's the
Uh,
guy, man. That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Daiki
It's
Inu. What do you know
just
about?
it's like his personality is big, but so is Soya's. It's just that Inaba came back with a chip on his shoulder, and I don't think Soya has that chip on his shoulder right now.
Mhm,
Hopefully, this is something that this tournament puts a pep in his step and makes him turn it up. I mean, he hasn't been bad. Like the tag title match that just happened was phenomenal, but
mhm,
just from an overall, where he stands in Noah right now, he's still leader of a group, but right now he's not one of the guys who I would be happy with winning necessarily. It's just I want to see more from him. I want to see him keep evolving, and he's done that since Congo split. So like I have faith that he can do it. It's just a matter of him doing it. As for Oka, Oka's an interesting one just because he had the Kenta and Kano thing. He got to win the tag titles for a little cup
yeah.
of coffee, and then the group ended, and he's been kind of aimless.
Mhm,
He's mixed it up with Hayata and stuff on the undercard and all that, but he's kind of aimless. And for Oka, I just want to see continued growth, and hopefully he gets a big win. I actually would be down for a Kenta upset just because they had the singles match at
mhm.
Corkin where Kenta just
Yeah,
beat the dog shit out of him. So
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we're looking at this. What this is a if they have two, four, six, they have seven, so it's a 14 ceiling.
mhm.
Uh, Kenta probably loses two matches, so he doesn't go
I
through.
have him losing one and then drawing one.
Would that get him to nine? Kaito only loses one, is what you're saying?
I think he loses one, draws one. I mean, he could lose two, but I do think him and Kaito draw on opening night.
I
Um,
could see that. But point being, you gotta be
Ulka can be spoiler.
yeah, you gotta be picky about who beats Kenta, and I do
Yeah,
think Oka makes sense for. I
I
mean,
think.
alternative. Like I think the only person other than Oka would be Massa.
Yeah.
Why do I keep
Um.
calling him Massa? That's a really fucking weird Massa.
Yeah. Ulka. I when like before the blocks are announced, he's somebody I wanted to see like make a run to the final, like him versus Kaito, just because I think you can
Mhm.
trust Kaito enough to carry him to a good match. But also it would be a way to elevate him to make it out of his block. But obviously, I don't see him making it out of this block. This block's a murderer's row, so just
Yeah,
need
hard
signature wins
sell
from
for sure.
him. Big Kazuki Fujita, my guy. I expect him to lose cleanly very little in this tournament. I
Mm.
expect countouts. I expect pass outs. I expect flash pins. I don't expect him to eat a single actual loss in this
Clean
tournament.
heels on the mat,
Yeah,
three
no.
count. Yeah.
I think he genuinely, I think he only loses to Kaito because they've done the Frankensteiner spot before, so I expect him to do it again. I can see him losing to Kenta because Kenta's like second tag match back in Noah. He just started beating the dog shit out of Fujita, and Fujita's like, God damn, bro. Okay. And Masa, just because I mean, one of Masa's big driving forces to turning was he just couldn't beat Fujita. So I expect those three, but that's about it. I think everybody else is just kind of dead in the water as far as getting wins on Kazuki Fujita goes. Um,
I could see them doing something interesting with him and Olka. Um, it's hard to say that Olka beats him,
yeah,
but
I mean,
I do think
the match will be interesting. It's just that
yeah.
I don't think Oka wins. So
I don't think he wins, but I think they could surprise me there.
yeah,
Um, because
yeah.
I mean he's a legit
They,
guy. I feel like he would probably be more willing to like even if it is like a cheeky
yeah.
fall. I
Well,
could
I
see
expect
him.
Masa to be the one to get the big definitive win over him, so everything
Okay,
else would just kind of be sneak bys.
that's fair. That's fair.
Um, as for Endo's in a funny spot because his whole thing has been the Segura feud, the Team 2000X feud, um, and he's just been away from that for now. I mean,
Yep.
Takeshita just won G1. Now he's tasked with having to win N1 to complete the Happy Motel sweep of the big tournaments. And I mean, I don't think he does it, but it's interesting because we know Endo was only a rental, and it feels like his time is wrapping up, and he'll just go back in January. So it's like they don't want to overcommit to him, but I still think that he might be respectable enough where he could possibly be on the verge of making it through, but I'm not gonna say for sure.
The thing about Endo is similar to Olka. If he was in a weaker block, I could 100% see him
Yeah,
being that like, oh wow, he like a Cinderella story type thing. It's like, wow,
yeah,
nobody really expected, outside guy to get in and then lose to a Kaito, lose to an Ozawa.
yeah,
Um, you can't really pull that here. I
yeah.
mean, like
No.
wins are going to be hard to come by in this block for Endo. So like really, if you look at it, if you swapped him and like Marufuji on
Hmm.
the other side, like he could easily like get an upset on Ozawa last day and then win. Or
Yeah.
not win, but win the block and then lose to a Kaito.
Hmm.
But that's just not really possible here. So yeah, it is just about kind of like um, producing fun
Hmm.
matches ultimately, from my perspective for Endo, because yeah, like you said, I don't know how much more he's going to be able to sink his teeth into throughout his Noah run. I would love more from his Noah run because, like I said, I've
Hmm.
enjoyed him and Noah much more than I did him and DDT. I think it's just a more interesting environment for him.
Hmm.
So, I would love to see him do well, but I don't necessarily expect it. He's
Hmm.
definitely on the bottom half of the block here.
No, for sure. As for Massa, up really down and then a upward trajectory as far as his year goes. He lost the big title match to Soya to start the year. His friends kind of left him because Inaba came back and didn't team with him. He went straight to Soya's group. He lost the Ozawa title match. He couldn't beat Fujita in repeated attempts. Then he went away and said he needed some change. Came back as a member of Team 2000X as the chairman, and he genuinely feels like he's reborn. It's the one of the best career moves anyone's made as far as in any company in recent times because he had gotten stale to the point where he just kept losing, and it's hard to believe that he would be anywhere further than he was. But genuinely, it just seemed like overnight after the return and then the title match, it just felt like it's very hard for me to not believe he's not on a continued upward trajectory just because he feels like so much more of a bigger deal now. He feels like one of the guys now, and that's why I think he is a true dark horse to where I don't know if he makes it out of this block. However, I do think he is a dark horse that could be looking at potentially advancing when we get down to the final night.
Mm. Yeah, I could see something like that. Like I said, I think Massa's uh, he's got to beat Kenta for me. Like I feel
I
like
just think he
that's
has to beat Fujita, and it needs to be definitive because that's been
okay.
his
That's
whole
fair.
story all year. His whole story all year, and why he went and turned is just he just couldn't beat Fujita.
Did they win the tag titles? Who
Yes,
tag champs right now? Is it him and
Sugira and
Sugira?
Masa.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, never mind. He's gonna sink his teeth into that for now. But
Mhm.
we've been using that term a lot. But yeah, no, I could see him over Fujita being the big thing. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Masa, but I've always kind of needed a little bit more from him. And
Mhm.
I do think that this like change in demeanor and gimmick, and especially as me, I'm a Kensuke office guy.
Mhm.
Him kind of like embodying with the goatee and just the look, everybody kind of being like, you look like your dad. I
Yeah.
think that's I appreciate that kind of like
Yeah.
different angle to it. Obviously, very different wrestler than Kensuke, who obviously trained him, but I kind of like that we're going in a different direction because it has been while. Like ever since I started watching Noah, he was always kind of in one zone. I always wanted him to like get something while he was there, but it like you said, it kind of became clear that that wasn't going to happen
Mhm.
over time. So I think now with him being in Team 2000X, you can present him as like a top heel, second to only Ozawa, and at times better than Ozawa. More important than Ozawa, because he has that in him. So yeah, I think he'll have a good tournament. I do expect there to be a handful uh, of losses. Obviously, again, I don't expect him to.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be in contention final night, uh, but I do expect a good tournament out of him. And yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for him versus Soya, him versus Fujita. Um, and him versus Kaito as well, obviously, will be good. But yeah,
Yeah, man, he sold his soul to pro wrestling, and that's what it's really all about.
that's what it's
So,
all about, brother. Throw
speaking of
him up.
which, of selling your soul, Daga is making his debut in the N1 victory, and buddy, I saw that picture. You ain't going nowhere. I'll tell you that right now. You staying right here. But no, I'm excited for Daga's first tournament as a heavyweight. I think Daga actually has transitioned beautifully to the heavyweight scene. I think he fits
Yeah.
the heavyweight style a lot more than he does the junior style, just because it felt as a junior he leaned in too much in the power, and it seemed like he was just trying to reassure that he could be a heavyweight. Um, as where since he's moved up, he's kind of been able to, pull out his full arsenal. He's been able to use power. He's been able to use speed, lucha stuff. He's been able to really show his full skill set, and I think that's why, like when he turned heavyweight, I was like, man, I don't know how you keep Jack in this group because like Taga's already a better heavyweight than him. This is like, um,
Yeah.
he's probably the bottom of this block.
Oh, definitely.
Listen, I love Daga to death. The picture with the performance center shirts out there, you're finishing last. No hard feelings, buddy. Would love to have you on. We got a lot of stuff we would love to ask you, but you're probably finishing last.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Daga. I think
Yeah,
I
me too.
agree with you. I liked him as a excuse me, as a junior. I liked his feud with Ada a lot.
Hmm.
Um, but I do think there is a benefit of being a fast heavyweight compared
Hmm.
to a slower junior.
Hmm.
I think that's something that more people should kind of like look into.
And for what
Ultimately,
it's worth, I do think with the junior style, he tried to showcase the Ogawa teachings a lot
oh, definitely.
of trying to slow it down. It's just that,
R.I.P. Stinger one time
yeah, it's just that it didn't, it
didn't work.
wasn't, it didn't work on that scale.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And like in his booking was shoddy because they just ran out of junior challengers like pretty quick. So
yeah, and like his tag partner went home, and yeah, he went through a lot, and he ate a lot of shit to get to the heavyweights and where we're at now. But yeah, he'll go like he'll be the weakest in his block. He's gonna be bumping a lot for a lot of these guys. I mean, these are big guys, and
mhm,
I think him and Endo can have like a really fast paced like fun
mhm,
match. But otherwise, he will be eating a lot of shit. He's gonna get his ass beat a fair bit, but he's a really good seller in that way, a really good bumper.
mhm.
So I think he'll thrive regardless. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he brings to the tournament because I think all these guys kind of are an interesting match for him. Uh, Ultimately, the one thing that you got to worry about is him being the night off. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
which I don't know how much we're going to see in this tournament. I haven't checked the schedule dates and like where they're all located and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like if you get
I know off the top of my head, there's Korakuen, there's Osaka 2, um, Usanamiya,
yep.
in Chiba, and I feel like there's one other one I'm missing, but those are the ones off the top of
But
my
yeah,
head I know.
if you got Kenta in in Tochigi, I don't know
Mhm.
I don't know how much effort he's going to be given to Daga, for example. You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of
I
a
don't think.
worry you got to have.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think Kenta will have any off nights. Okay, so I have the schedule. So
Mm.
opening nights in Korakuen, the second night's in Okayama, the third night's in Hiroshima, the fourth night's in Fukuoka, the fifth night is in Kumamoto, the sixth night is in Osaka, the seventh night is in Hamamatsu, then we're in Tochiki, and then we're in Korakuen.
Damn, they're going all across
Yeah,
non
yeah,
Sapporo. That's cool. Um, or Hokkaido rather.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe not Kenta, but you get what I mean. Like you're looking at a maybe a weaker Kaito performance depending on where he's facing Daga. Well, actually no,
Daga
Daga
and
and Kaito work really well together.
Daga and Kenta's in Hiroshima,
Yeah. See, like I don't
and
know about that. Well,
well,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Once again, like I said, Kenta's like super motivated for this run, so like
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna have many nights off like he did in per se G1. I think
Mhm.
he's um actually gonna be locking. Like I do fear for like him versus Fujita because that's in Okayama. Like Daga and Fujita's in Okayama, so that might be rough for him. But I do think he does. You don't have to worry about off nights with this block outside of like Fujita, just because I don't feel like he can go like a full
Mm.
competitive tournament. Pedal to the metal type.
Yeah,
Type
no,
shit.
I get that. And
Um,
I'm a big fan of heel faction
yeah,
dittos.
yeah. So
So
him
I
and
like
Masa
him
should be
and
fun.
Masa. Yeah, I like that. I think that'll
Him
be
and
a lot of fun.
Kaito's in Tochiki, but Indo and Kenta's also in Tochiki. I think though a lot of big matches are in Tochiki actually.
Mm,
Galeno Keno's on that, Morris and Ozawa's on that. So I don't think he'll take a night off though. So
okay, that's good to hear.
you
But yeah, that's definitely the stronger block. Like just talking about it, it's pretty
know.
clearly like even
It's
like
stacked up. It's stacked
yeah,
up
it's
for
stacked
sure.
up. Everybody at least has something. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of something that I think will really be. I think all of these people will at least have one really good match, if not more.
Hmm.
Obviously, uh, I can't say confidently the other side the same. Um,
Hey man,
but like when the I'll finish real quick. When the weaker wrestlers in this block, I feel like still have something
hmm
that would be like, okay, well that's cool still. Uh, that's a big benefit for a
hmm
block in a
hmm
round robin tournament.
what was it? Was it? It has a high floor. I
Yeah,
guess would be the
yeah,
right way to say it. It's a
100%.
high floor. This, the B block, it's not bad, okay, but it's definitely the weaker.
I feel
Um,
like the B block depends on how Keno's feeling
yeah,
pretty much entirely.
for sure.
Um, because
I
like
think
I
how can those feeling and how long these Marufuji matches will be,
yeah, well because that's
because
the thing
I
is it's
still
like
think Marufuji can have fun matches. It's just a matter of how long they'll be.
because I'm thinking like Keno can get a really fun match out of pretty much everybody here, but he can also just like not feel like it, and in that case it'll be like some of these are going to be rough.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. Well, let me just go ahead and read out the block and then
mm,
talk a little bit about it. We have the B block. We have the GAC national champion of All Rebellion, Galeno, Naomichi Marufuji, Keno, Daiki Inaba, Jack Morris, the newest signing, All Rebellion's Haratoki, Ricky Knight Jr., and Ozawa. Um, I, so this block, it's weaker, but also it's not. I mean, it depends. It's definitely the weaker one, but
yeah,
um, Galeno, I think, has just been directionless. I think he's been good, but he's just directionless. So in a tournament where he just needs to have good matches, he should be able to do that.
mm.
Kano, like I said, if he's up to it, it'll be good. It just
Yeah,
depends.
because he tends to
Daiki,
work best with the foreigners.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm not gonna watch him versus Ricky Knight Jr. You'll have to do
Uh,
that, but have fun with
well,
that. But
I
I'll gladly watch him and Jack Morris because I think that can be really good. And I like Jack Morris. Like I don't think Jack Morris is that bad. Like I think he's fine. Um,
he's solid.
yeah, he's a solid worker. I like that he's back to being babyface. I didn't love him in Team 2000X. It didn't really work for me.
Mm,
Um, so I'm excited. Same with GLG, frankly. I just haven't really liked Morris as a heel. I
hmm
liked him much more when I first started watching him, and
hmm
he was a babyface. Uh, and so I'm hoping that that raises the quality of this block as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so basically, what I was saying is, Inaba's been great ever since he came back, so he'll be good. Morris isn't going to be doing kill stuff anymore, so he should be better than he has been in the past. Hartoki, for as inexperienced as he is, he's still a really capable worker, and I think he's extra motivated now that he's officially signed. Um,
Yeah, I really like
I,
Baratoki. I'm a
I
big
I
fan.
doubt he's, if he does have an off night, it's just going to be a matter of him being inexperienced. It's not going to be a matter of effort. I think he's going to go all out here. Um, Ricky Knight Jr. and listen, this is just my opinion, is a very bad pro wrestler. Is
Yeah.
a awful pro wrestler. Anytime that I have had the displeasure of watching Ricky Knight Jr., I'm just like, people pay money to see this, and I don't understand it. But listen, I have to watch every match, so we'll see how I'm feeling at the end of the tournament. I guess I'll go into it with an open mind, but I'm not excited in the least bit. He's probably just going to beat Kano on the opening night because Kano loves losing to the foreigners, and I have fear that he's just beating Galeno for the national, and I don't want to think about that right now.
Mm,
Um, as for Ozawa's going to have a fun tournament because he doesn't have to do the world title match formula. Him versus Owada-san was really, really good. If he gets to do more of that, he's going to have a really good tournament, which, once again, I think he is regardless because he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that world title match formula because he's lost. He's not invincible. So now he gets to change things up. He doesn't have to stall the crowd. He doesn't have to hit a certain time limit. He just gets to go out there and do his thing. So we'll see. We'll see. The main concerns I have with this block is just a matter of Marufuji's health, just because I have to rewatch the World Title match, so I'm not gonna say it's like, you know, one of the worst things I've ever seen just based off the three botches. I when I was watching in real time, it just felt to me that as the time progressed, it got worse for him.
mm.
Um, if they keep it short, I do think Marufuji can still have fun singles matches. I'm not all out on Marufuji. I think it's just a matter of how the match is done, how long it is, and who he's against. Um, Kendo needs to do a lot of heavy lifting here. Need a lot of heavy lifting from him. Need a lot of heavy lifting from Ozawa. Need Inaba to just do his thing, and you want to hope for some big performances out of Haratoki for sure. I will say, them putting Jack and Ozawa in a block together immediately feels to me, and I can look it up real quick because they posted the schedule on there. It feels to me as if Jack is going to stop Ozawa from advancing, or
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was kind of shocked that you said that it was in Tochigi. Was that what
hmm
you said? That
hmm
Jack versus Ozawa? That which, well, to be fair, that's penultimate night, isn't it? Because Corkin is the
hmm
final night.
yeah,
Um, do they do like? So is Corkin the final night, as in it's the final, or is it?
yes, the final,
Okay, so Tochigi is the final night, like the
yeah.
final block night. Okay,
hmm
yeah, I think. Oh wow, yeah, that does throw a wrench in because it's like I feel like for me Ozawa is easily like the favorite, especially with and we need to talk about this a little bit, uh, with Go not being in the tournament.
hmm
I felt like, heading into the tournament, I was like, even a few months ago, I was like, if Ozawa drops the belt, Ozawa's the favorite. If Go's back by then, Go's the favorite. Ozawa did drop the belt. Go is back, but he's not in the tournament. Harutoki is. So
I
I feel like Ozawa is like the obvious favorite for me,
mhm.
but Kaito obviously is also
I
uh
will read you
never not
the
the favorite.
last night in Tochiki,
Mm,
just so we can kind of you know base this off
examine it.
what possibly could happen. So
Mm.
I'll read both this and Hamamatsu because there's some people who are not on the card.
Oh, word.
Oh wait, no, there is there.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so it's fine. Let me just read this final night. So the final night is Inaba versus Haratoki, Morris versus Ozawa, Marufuji versus Ricky Knight Jr., Kano versus Galeno, Fujita versus Masa, which scares me into thinking Masa's going to stop Fujita. Um, so that means he's going to score high. Oka versus Soya, Kaito versus Daga, and then Endo versus Kenta.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
That's interesting. Kaito versus Daga is an interesting way for Kaito
I
to go through if
I
he's
was going to say I think Kaito just wins that, and Endo stops Kenta, and you can just do a throwaway Endo
Mm,
defense just so he at least challenges Kenta before he heads back.
I do think that would be cool.
Yeah.
We talked about earlier, obviously, like who's fit, who's beating Kenta. I do think Endo is a good shout, and if it's final night, I think that definitely works.
hmm
Um, I could see that. I could see that Endo and
I
Kenta
think
like the main event, and it coming down to Endo stopping him.
I
I could see.
originally had Galeno not finishing well, but just based on this card, I think him versus Kano just straight up decides the block. I think Morris stops Ozawa. Ricky Knight Jr. beats Marufuji. And then Kano and Galeno just decides the block. But
Are we going Kaito Keno again?
I hope not. I
I
hope
love them
not.
together, but I don't need that again.
My original pitch for this tournament was Kaito over Ozawa in the final, but I
Hmm.
also don't like the idea because that's them 3 times in 1 year, which I mean, it's fine. And Kaito finally gets his win back, but you know, it's just that it being at Ryogoku throws off my idea that they would give it to Ozawa to, farm his chances at Tospo MVP with the award being wide open.
Hmm.
Because they already did Kenta and Ozawa and Ryogoku this year, so I don't think they do it again. So
Yeah, no, I get that. I do think if Kaito's winning, it has to be over Ozawa, though.
yeah,
Um,
I also agree with that.
like I
So it's
can't
like
see it being anybody else. Like I think if Ozawa's winning, you could have, and it's hard because again, look at the block. You could have a Endo go through and lose to Ozawa, and
yeah,
you can tell a story of like Ozawa beat Jack Morris and the next day beat Tetsuya Endo, proving that like Team 2000X, if you leave them, you are dirt type of
Endo
thing.
Endo possibly just goes through and beats him too.
That would be insane.
Yeah,
Endo Kenta for Ryogoku.
yeah, it's crazy, but it's just like
I mean, if they have spoken with DDT and they're signing him, like, and he's just never going back, maybe.
yeah,
Uh,
but it's one of those things where I wanted them to take a gamble. I wanted them to do something fun.
I would be down.
I wanted them to do something fun, like throw Hard Toki in the final or something. Do something interesting, but
Well,
it's
take Ryuga
probably
straight up. Put him in the final.
yeah, it's in Korakuen. Like you can do whatever here.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's it's a tournament that's hard to predict, even though there's the obvious favorites. So it's just like I don't know what's gonna happen. Um,
I Oh no, I don't know. Because like I think Galeno. I didn't really talk much about the people in B Block. I feel like Galeno's an interesting one because I haven't been super high on his work this year.
yeah.
It hasn't been bad by any means. I've enjoyed it,
Well, he
but
hasn't
uh,
defended, so like,
yeah, that
and
too.
when he has defended, it's been like Saxon Huxley and Will Cruz. So
And funnily enough, him versus Saxon Huxley was fine. That's why I mentioned I was like, just put him in the fucking um tell me like 2 years ago that I'd be begging Saxon Huxley to come back over Ricky Knight Jr. Well, actually, I probably
I
would have been
probably
like,
believe
no, that
that.
makes sense. No, that makes sense, Ricky Knight Jr. But begging Saxon Huxley to come back for the
And one,
the N1, yeah, you get what I mean. But I don't know. Galeno's an interesting case. Because he is champion, and we didn't really talk about that. He is Natty champion, so you're
mm-hmm.
looking at who beats him and who kind of like might challenge for the
I think
Natty.
Ricky Knight Jr. does.
See, I'm more optimistic. I think I want to see one of the two. I want to see either Keno or not Keno. I would say Daiki or Harutoki. I
Yeah,
would really be
for
interested
sure.
in challenging Galeno, potentially beating Galeno. I think either of
Hard
them.
Toki has him
Harutoki's
opening
a bit
night, so
early,
I don't think
but
that's out of the question. I think Hard Toki just beats him opening night.
I could see that too. I think that'd be cool. I think that's like the perfect guy. Like you just signed him. You want him to, really show out.
Yeah.
He beat Go Shiozaki. I wouldn't be surprised if he,
He lost to Kaito, so you got to bring him in a little bit. It's like, okay, he
yeah,
signed, but Kaito still whooped his
he's not
ass. So
he's
like
not
it's
heavy.
okay.
He's not heavyweight champion contender yet,
Yeah.
but he
But
could be a natty champion.
yeah.
I think that's a cool kind of like, throwing him a bone sort of thing
Yeah, yeah.
over Galeno. But yeah, I mean, then you look at Final Night, Galeno versus Kano. Feels like it matters, but it also might not because we could just be riding solely on Morris versus not Daga,
Ozawa.
Morris versus Ozawa. Yeah, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. I feel like if you set it up like, oh, either Morris or Ozawa faces
Mm-hmm.
Kaito, they both obviously have plenty of history with them. I
Yeah.
think that makes sense from like a.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I feel like we're just discounting them doing Morris Kaito, and this is just Morris's send off, and they just send him to a final just as like a thank you.
I could like that's what I mean. I think that's 100% possible.
Hmm.
Um, because I don't think that we get on both sides. X beats Y,
Hmm.
so Z goes through. We have Endo over Kenta probably,
Hmm.
so that Kaito can go through. I don't think we get Jack over Ozawa so that Keno gets through. I don't think that makes sense,
Yeah.
or Galeno for that matter, or if Marth or anybody in this block really. So I think the winner of Jack and Ozawa goes through. Um, if Kaito's winning, I think it's Jack. Uh, if Ozawa's winning, then Ozawa obviously
Yeah.
beats Jack, and then he could beat either. I'm kind of warming up to the idea of putting Endo in the final to lose to Ozawa.
Yeah.
If they want to, like you said, kind of protect the Kaito
Hmm.
Ozawa third match, and protect you know, maybe they don't want to beat Kaito 3 times.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't. They probably don't care, but
I don't
maybe they
think
don't want to
Kaito
beat.
cares either. It's just like
He doesn't clearly. I mean,
yeah.
clearly he loves Ozawa as much as
He
Ozawa
loves
fucks
Noah
with
in
him.
general. Like I don't think
Yeah,
people understand that whenever they talk about like he literally his origin
chill.
story is if he didn't get into the Noah dojo, he wasn't gonna wrestle because he only wanted to be Masawa. So like I think he's cool with whatever. But yeah.
I mean, famously, they asked him, "What if a company tried to pay you $12 million?" And he
And
went,
Muto was like, "You gotta go," and he was like, "Nah, I don't
he
know.
went, he went,
It
but
would be
but is it
cool."
Noah?
He
Is
was
it
like, "Yeah,
Noah?
could they like pay us that? That'd be cool."
I'd ask them to match it, and if they didn't, I'd be like, "Aw," and then I'd keep wrestling it.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, like I think he wouldn't mind, but uh, I don't know if you want to give away Ozawa over Kaito in the final. So yeah, I mean, you kind of convinced me that I don't think it'll be a Kaito Ozawa's
Hmm.
final. Because I think either way, one of them should probably be facing one of the previous underlings of Team 2000X. I think the story of the year has been Team 2000X.
Hmm.
So I don't think it would be insane for either Endo or Morris to go through to the final to lose
Yeah,
because they both have been a part of that big story.
yeah, but ultimately, if it's Ryogoku, even though they're having a match on opening night, if it has a finish, obviously it's probably going to change. But I think you just do Kenta versus Kaito at Ryogoku. Just let it happen.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't faced off
And the
yet?
singles now.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that feels like the obvious one for
It's just them
Ryogoku.
being on the same block throws me off. But I mean, I was like I said, I was just like, well, they could just draw and they just do it again.
I think it could also set up an interesting scenario for Kaito, where because I think Kaito loses that still. I don't
Hmm.
think they. So Ryogoku, when would Ryogoku be?
It'd be October.
October. Yeah, I don't think they do. I don't think they have Kenta drop it before he can
No,
face
Kenta
Go.
carries it into Budokan.
Yeah, for
At the
sure.
very least, he's going to Budokan.
Yeah. So I don't think like Kenta's going to keep it. So I think that presents a very interesting scenario for Kaito because then he will be like firmly out of the title picture for much longer than he usually is.
Yeah.
Um and like he just keeps getting denied. So then maybe as we were talking about earlier, maybe he can go and kind of like figure something out, become a tag champion
I want him
or
and Haratoki to just tag up if he's not going to be Natty Champ.
I would love that. I would love them to beat Sugiura and Masa. Like I
Yeah.
think that would be perfect sort of thing. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's very interesting.
There's a
Uh,
lot of that's the thing with Kaito is there's a lot of different avenues that people probably won't accept because it's not the world title.
I
But
mean,
like there's a
an
lot of different
interesting
avenues for him.
potential you kind of set up, but you didn't say outright, is they do just do where on both sides somebody beats somebody, so a different person goes through,
Yeah.
and they have Kaito and Galeno as the final. Kaito beats Galeno. uh, Kaito challenges Kenta. Galeno
Loses and
keeps
then yeah.
keeps defending the belt. Kaito eventually challenges Galeno because obviously they are tag partners.
Hmm.
They're All Rebellion, they they love, since it was created like a year and a half ago, love running All Rebellion versus All Rebellion. So
Yeah, for sure.
I could see Kaito even winning the Natty like that, and beating Leno at in the new year. I think that's a way to give him something to do next year, to
Mhm.
start the year, is him being Natty champ. And you start that with the final between Kaito and Galeno. Just,
Okay.
just thought. There's a lot of things that can happen here, and I'm really excited for it.
All right. Cool. 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 So let's go ahead and get to our questions, and then we'll
Hmm.
tell y'all we're gonna lock in a final. We're gonna lock in a winner,
Hmm.
even though it's really hard right now. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
think. Decky knows the
But
winner at all. Spoiler. Go on.
uh, I don't even have a joke because I'm looking at this. Everybody I actually want to win probably has a chance of winning. Um, so I'll get to the one question that was asked to me on Blue Sky. It says, "Who do you think will be the MVPs of each block by the end of the tournament?" They messed it up, so I had to reword the
Hmm.
sentence. But I'll go first. For A block, I think it's easily going to be Kenta. It's either him or Kaito. That's him, Kaito, or Masa, just because they can have a good match with everybody in this block. Kaito, he's a guy that has helped Harutoki in the dojo. It's very apparent.
Hmm.
He's Ozawa's, his, I don't want to say his mentor, but Ozawa was his youngling. Like they went to hostess bars and shit. So like Kaito very much knows how to work with everybody. Him and Oka roll around with Ogawa, so he'll be Oka's best opponent probably. Kenta, I think it's just hard for him to have a bad match because he just ends up slapping his opponents in the face really hard, and I'm into
Hmm.
that. And Masa for the same reason as Kaito, because he does have the ability of where he has trained people that he can kind of work with their strengths and weaknesses better than say Endo trying to have a good match with like Oka or something. B block, that's tough, but I'm gonna go Daiki Inaba.
Smart. A block, I would firmly go Kaito.
Mm-hmm,
Um, outside of Ulka, I
mm-hmm,
am pretty confident. uh, Actually, not even Ulka. I think him and Ulka will do good. I think outside of Fujita, I am incredibly confident he will have a very good match with basically everybody in this block.
mm-hmm,
Um, I really liked his match with Daga earlier this year.
mm-hmm. That was
So
really
it's
good.
like that's proven already, and I think like him and Endo is an interesting one. Him and Masa is fucking, like, you could do that a million times. It'll be good 999,000 times.
For
Uh,
sure.
type shit. And yeah, like him and or not Masa, him and Soya, Manabu and Masa. I always try to fuck. I always fuck them up. Not that similar, but just the
Mm-hmm.
Mas. But him and Soya are very good together as well. So I'm confident it'll be Kaito over there. B block, I want to say Daikinaba, of course. But I think Kite, or not Kaito, Kento, Keno. I've had a
Yeah,
long day.
I was gonna say that's the other guy as well.
Kaito, Kento, Keno. There we go. I think Keno will have the best tournament on the B block side because I think he works better with the white boys, as they say,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the black boys. Frankly, uh, him and Tavion Heights last year, that was a banger. Um, but yeah, so I think like he'll probably have the best stuff with Morris and Ricky Knight. And other than that, I just think even Marufuji, I think they will kind
Oh,
of
for sure.
click on a level that I don't know if Marufuji's going to click with anybody else in this block. Um, so yeah, I mean, as much as I think Daiki Inaba, the fucker that he is going to have some remarkable performances, and I really hope he does. I think I am most confident in Keno, like I said earlier, if he is like passionate. Get him some Manabu Soya talks, and he'll be passionate. Let's go, Jonsu.
Now over to the old Twitter. Cameron asked, can we expect a Kaz Fujita clean sweep? If he was booking this, probably, but he isn't, so no.
Who would you want to see Fujita in a final against? Like just for shits and giggles. Who's the guy that beats Fujita in the final?
Beat is a stretch.
Okay,
I would
B.
love to see what Fujita versus Ricky Knight Jr. looks like. I would adore to see what that looks like.
Where's young Daiki when you need him?
Yeah, man.
Uh, get him in there. Um, yeah, no clean sweep for him. He has to put over at least one of them boys.
Yeah. So my boy Umino says, "Do y'all think Marufuji will be able to even get through night one, let alone the whole tournament?"
Who's he got in that one?
He's got Ozawa night one, so yes.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I
Night two, on the other hand, we'll see.
like I said, his block is super safe. None of these guys per se, outside of Galeno and like Daiki, work a style that will be super taxing to Marufuji. So I think he'll be fine. Which matches from both block are y'all looking forward to the most? I'll keep it to two a block, but obviously the opening night, Kento versus Kaito. And then I'll say Masa and Kaito with the added wrinkle of Masa being the chairman. Now B block, Harutoki and Galeno, and I'm gonna say Harutoki and Keno as well, just because I went to say Inaba and Keno, but they had like really good chemistry in the tag title match, so that's not really surprising to me. They've already did some work this year to where it's just like, oh yeah, it was good. So, yeah, there's a lot of rematches in this block. You got
yeah, it's true.
Well, people that have wrestled each other in big matches because Maruken had the tag with Kaito, so we got Keno and Marufuji, and then we had the Passionate Rattles and Oka Keno feud. Then we had the Galeno and Ozawa feud to start the year. So there's a lot of connecting things in this block. What about you? What you got?
A block, it's Kenta and Fujita. I'm so fascinated by that match. I really hope it doesn't disappoint.
Their tag was so good because, like I said, I don't
That's what I
think
mean. Yeah.
Fujita was expecting Kenta to slap the shit out of him.
If you remember, that was like what, the first couple weeks after he came back to Noah, like properly.
Yeah.
If you remember in a group chat we were in, I think you texted like, "Ayo, Fujita and Kenta are about to face off for the first time in a tag," and like I legitimately, it was middle of the night. I legitimately like ran to my computer and put it on because I had to see it. Like that's how must see those two against each other are for me. So like that's that match there. There's plenty in that block though. Obviously Kenta and Kaito's the obvious.
That's a heavy hitter block.
Very good block. But yeah, Kenta and Fujita for sure. B block, I'm not 100% sure. Can you tell me? This is a very random one. Where is Harutoki versus Ozawa?
Yeah, I can look it up for you real quick.
I'd appreciate that because that sounds like a really fun, like true babyface versus true heel match that I think they both would thrive
it's
with.
in Hiroshima.
It's not too bad. I wish it was in Osaka.
Yeah, because
Harutoki's an Osaka boy, so that would
he
have been
might
like,
have Marufuji or Keno in Osaka. Let me look up real quick.
Yeah,
I actually am fascinated of who they put him against in Osaka.
As am I. Because if it's Marufuji, I'm gonna be a bit bummed.
Well, if it's Marufuji, I can count on him winning. Is the thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Hamamatsu, Osaka. Harutoki has Marufuji in Osaka. So.
Okay, that'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting one. Yeah, I'm not sure how the vibes will be for Harutoki Ozawa. I think that has a pretty low floor but a high ceiling.
Yeah,
because it could be a really good, like true babyface versus true heel, or it could just be kind of.
But also, I think they have a fun styles clash, so it's like
yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's an
you
interesting.
got the Lucha versus the high flying. I think it'll be a fun little thing.
And then otherwise, I think it is just Daiki Inaba versus Keno.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably just kind of butt heads a lot. As I think the one thing about B block that is a bit of a bummer, or one thing about this term in general, is Daiki Inaba thrives when he has to deal with the biggest motherfuckers alive.
Yeah.
And that's why I am like very interested in Galeno versus Daiki Inaba, though that could be bad. Like that could be outright bad.
I don't think so because All Rebellion for most of this year have worked as tweeners on the house shows. So
True, true. I don't know. I think I would say even more than Kano. I would say Daiki Inaba and Galeno tentatively,
mhm.
super high ceiling for me. I think that's like I said, it's Daiki Inaba 101. He's a faster guy. He's a very energetic guy. So he can kind of match just like uh, he's not a lucha guy, obviously, but he can match kind of like the speed and just like kind of like
Mhm.
going at Galeno in a way that I think Galeno would really mesh with quite well. Um, but it's also possible that falls apart a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to go with a little bit of outside picks with Galeno and Daiki and Haratoki and Ozawa.
Mm, lastly, from my boy Mino, do you think Daga, Morris, and Galeno are gone after this tournament is over? Um, yeah, to put it simple, not when the tournament is over, but I don't expect any of them to still be here by this tournament next year. Um, I think Morris
Yeah,
is gone after this tournament for sure.
yeah.
I think they'll tie up whatever loose ends with him in Team 2000X they'll need to, but I think he'll be gone by after this tournament. Galeno's got a belt, so he's not going like anywhere
Yeah,
anytime
I think
soon.
I think Jack Morris is definitely gone. I
Yeah,
think Daga and Galeno are a bit more like, I don't know, maybe at the beginning of next year,
yeah,
maybe they
yeah.
stay a little bit longer. We'll
Daga's
see.
and Daga's case is also different because
He lives
he,
there, doesn't he?
yeah, he lives in Japan, but also him and Galena are in the same boat as where Jack isn't. I feel like Jack they can just throw anywhere. If they want to try like NXT Europe, they can throw him there. If they want to just throw him in the performance center, give him a gimmick, put him on TV, whatever. They can do that. Galeno and Daga seem specifically that WWE would want them for Triple A.
Mm,
So like I don't really know how to gauge as far as their importance as far as being signed. Especially in Daga's case where he's 37, 38, something like that. I think it's 37. I don't know if they'll be in a rush to sign him just for Triple A because I don't think he gets anywhere other than Triple A if WWE does decide to sign him. Because ultimately, I haven't even heard anything, kind of exposing that I hear stuff, but
but
I
really,
haven't.
I've only seen the picture. Like,
Yeah, well,
like
like
there's
I haven't
nothing more
heard
I've seen.
anything through the grapevine of WWE leaking information to people and people regurgitating that information
Hmm.
that they're even interested in Doc. I think it was open trial. He just went. Like, as for Morris, like Igel Blanc and Mike D both finished up in WXW, so and he was at the same trial that they were, so I expect he's gone after this tournament. So,
Yeah, that's my thinking. I think Jack
um,
Morris, and I've just like vibe wise, I feel like
that
Jack
and they
Morris is
just
closing
did
up.
the split in Kawasaki, and that was
Yeah,
weird.
that's
Um,
what I mean. I feel like they're really like wrapping up the Jack Morris story in Noah.
and also
Um,
Galeno's case is different from the other two's. Like, if Daga left, I'd be upset, but he's 37. He probably wants to work under the WWE umbrella, like at least once before he retires. I'm not mad at him. Go get your money. Go do your thing. Noah will always be here if it doesn't work out. Same thing with Jack, where he's been here for years and he's worked hard on his craft, and he never thought he could make a living off of pro wrestling, and he did that in Noah, and now having a chance to do that on the big stage, go do your thing. Galeno's a different case because I think he would have tried to join Triple A, but I think his brother specifically wanted him to work in Noah.
yeah,
I think Wagner's. I don't think this was a hey, do you want to work with your brother? I think Wagner specifically was just like, hey, you need to go here, work and improve. Like this is what you need to do before you make any other moves as far as your career goes. That's why I think his case is a little bit different from the other two. Two, I'm sure he definitely wants to go. Like he's shown love to his brother any chance he gets, but like I think ultimately his brother wanted him to improve and work hard in Noah, and he's only won the Natty so far. I think he probably stays and does what his brother did and win all three belts. But it never knows. WWE purchasing Triple A really throws a wrench in the way of thinking because they could just sign these guys just to have them over there. But who knows? But like I said, excuse me, I don't expect them to be here next year as far as when this tournament rolls around. But I would like at least if Dog and Kalena were here, but I don't expect it.
yeah. No, I'm similar.
We'll go to Pep's question. Pep's asked, will Ricky Knight Jr. have more 3-star matches, then there will be time limit draws in this tournament.
Ooh.
Well, considering I think there'll be like 3, no. So
Yeah, no.
3 draws, that is, not 3-star Ricky Knight Jr. matches. I don't think that's the case now.
Like I said, I think Ricky Knight Jr. and Kano could maybe have a fine match.
That'll be one. Like I said,
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think
mean. Like,
Kenta Kaito draw. I expect Kano would love to have a draw.
it's his favorite thing.
Yeah, I can see him and Marufuji just drawing.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Um, I could see Fujita talking his way into a draw. So like, no.
You said time limit draw or
Yeah.
just draw?
Oh, time limit draws. Still,
Okay,
Fujita went a 30 with Jake Lee, so like, it's possible.
Ooh, yeah,
Um,
just he's just gonna go in there with fucking Endo and go to a 30-minute draw for no reason, like just because fuck it, who cares?
yeah. um, Beth asked, "Will Ricky Knight Jr. get a win in this tournament against Sue?" Yeah, I think he
Yes.
gets quite a few. I think he beats Galeno, sets up a title match. I think he beats Kano on opening night because Kano loves losing to foreigners. I think he gets quite a few actually. I hope he still finishes at the bottom of the block.
I'm hoping those are the only two.
Yeah, those are it. You get the 2 big wins, and then yeah. I swear to God, if this guy tries to pull some I'm the Revolution Pro Heavyweight Champion shit, I will crash out. I promise.
Oh my god, he's beating fucking Harutoki. Fuck me, bro.
Alex asked us, do you think Ozawa's been set up to fail with a little with his block, or will it be okay if he gets big wins? I don't think Ozawa's been set up to fail no matter what.
I mean,
I think
really
he's bulletproof right now.
This group is full of really good baby faces.
Yeah.
If they need to be. You know, like you said, All Rebellion has been working between her, so like Galeno kind of can go back and forth.
Ozawa
really,
can beat all these guys. So I don't think he's set up to fail. It's just like we are nicer on the Ozawa title matches than most people, but
yeah,
being a strong worker was never his thing. It was just him getting results and telling stories. So I think it's fine. As long as he provides the results, like he's at most he's finishing second in the block. So like it's fine. Like the only match you maybe wanted to do is like Endo, but that's about it. And they kind of they did have a match in the second half of that triple threat, and he beat them. So, I think that's
which
like
I really liked. I hated the triple threat in general, but I thought that they had some decent thing going there.
They just did that poorly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, I don't think that they set him up to fail at all. I think there's a lot of I think Ozawa has the most interesting matches in B block. Mainly against Jack and Harutoki and Keno. But even him against Marufuji, I'm interested in first night. I want to see like how that kind of goes. Yeah, I mean these are great baby faces and Ricky
considering I once feared that was the Rhea Goku title match, I am glad that we are getting it.
Yeah, I'm chill. That's what I mean. Like I think this is fine for him.
I do expect him to eat a loss to Marufuji on opening night. I do expect that.
Oh, I don't think that's a problem.
That's the thing. Most opening nights is just people who probably shouldn't win the match just end up winning the match, which is my favorite part about tournaments. So it's fine with me. The other question Alex asked is, other than Tavion and Omos, if you knew that was going to be my answer, shit. If you had to get one WWE guy who's in developmental or not on TV to be in the tournament, who would it be and who would you replace? I would replace Ricky Knight Jr. and let me think of a person.
Yeah, Ricky Knight Jr. is gone.
Yeah. So either in developmental, not on TV, and it can't be Tavion or Omos because those were my answers. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would have just gone Tavion again. You're testing our WWE knowledge.
Yeah,
here.
man. That is rough, man. Too bad Sheamus has a feud because I want to say.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sheamus.
say
Sheamus got a feud going on. I want to say Sheamus. I want a fun one.
They utilize. I mean, Sheamus is definitely like the.
But I mean, we can have
a fair amount of people.
Anybody in developmental. So Obafemi, thank you.
That's a bit of a. I don't know about that. I was gonna go with like. this wouldn't work for many political and
Mhm.
weight class reasons. Tozawa,
Yeah, I was also thinking Tozawa, but I was like, he's a junior. He's not coming
yeah,
here.
like that, it wouldn't really work functionally, and like again, I don't know if you would want to work Noah.
You know, keep spitting. I'm looking up the WWE roster right now.
Yeah, no, because this is an interesting question. I do think looking to developmental is probably a better choice. Um, but even then, I'm not sure like
You can have Mariah Connors.
that. Frankly, I think that would be
He's
cool.
also the rebel.
Yeah, like he's a El Hijo de Rebel.
Okay, do we
He's
count
not.
Andrade as on TV or not?
Him and Phoenix are tags
Yeah,
matched like
Jesus
regularly.
Christ.
Um,
This is
they're
ridiculous,
as
man.
on TV as Sheamus's. So no, I don't think he
Bro,
counts.
okay, come on, bro.
Um, it's just the other it's the other show. SmackDown doesn't exist,
Yeah.
bro. But no, I think
They got a dude named Hank Walker on this bitch, bro. That's crazy.
oh, and he the dude. I think he was Gulak's boy until Gulak got fired.
Nah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe
Um,
I'm thinking of a different random white dude. But
I know what some funny options would be. Jimmy Uso would be hilarious. Like, oh, let me get one of the Creed brothers. Shit, they're not on TV.
that's true. Actually,
Let's get one of the Creeds, man. Good.
I like your pick of Uriah Connors. I think sending the other Finley boy to
The
Japan.
Rebel.
I think sending the other Finley boy to Japan would be for the best for
Yeah.
everybody.
Plus, you'd be in the Ozawa block. You'd be like, "What do you mean, Rebel?"
Oh, that would be a fucking
Oh no,
terrible promo.
some of my man, Lucky Ali, man. Saquon Sugars, bro. Some of my man,
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like there are a lot of guys like on NXT that I would
dude,
probably
dude.
pick. Like
Saquon Sugars shouting "Snow Bunny Splash" in Cork and Hall. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
I think he would get over. I think he'd
For
get fucking
sure.
over. He'd get over himself. He'd be like, I was in New Japan once. It was in North Carolina, but I was in New Japan once. But yeah, no, I think Lucky Ali is a good shout
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
because
go Lucky Ali.
there are a couple good guys on NXT that are
Oh,
still.
oh, I got you. Yoshiki Inamura. Gotcha.
Where's my boy?
Yeah,
Where's he
just
at?
let him work in his company.
Oh, Dios.
God, man,
Yeah,
I hate WWE.
yeah. So those are just
Yeah,
some
but no.
ideas.
But listen, my ideal scenario is Lucky Ali versus Kano, and Lucky Ali shouting "Snow Bunny Splash" and Kano doing a YouTube stream trying to figure out what it meant. Like,
Snow
oh
bunny splash. What the?
yeah, like no, that's my ideal scenario.
Oh
Um,
man.
unless we got like I think 3 questions from
Are there just
huh?
kind of going off of that? Are there any guys like just like you know whether they're I don't know like independent Japan, but are there any guys that you think should have been in here that realistically would have or could have
There's a
outside of
question
Noah?
about that.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be the last question I answer. So,
Hmm.
um, but as far as wrestlers that didn't have a chance of, like, it just wasn't possible. Well, I mean, Shuji Shikawa and then Zeus. This one's, I think Zeus in this tournament would have been fun. But Dr. Ruth says views on the chairman's chances this year, as far as I'm guessing to win.
Yeah, I'm guessing. He's tag champ. Unfortunately, I think his chances are pretty low. Um, Plus, I don't think I would want his chances to be high because he would lose to Kenta uh, very easily in Ryogoku. So uh, I think I want him to win a belt the next time he challenges for a singles belt,
Mm-hmm.
so we can wait. I think we. I'm not even that crazy of a like. I'm not like this like massive Masa fan. I like him, but I
Yeah,
think
well,
we
I am
as
so.
Masa fans can wait. I think that's where we're at because he's not beating Kenta in Ryogoku, so I don't think I want him to win.
In a world where he wasn't tag champion, him beating Ozawa in the final would be fun. But um, we live in a world where he is a tag champion, so
Well, would
it's
that kind of would like to kind of like take over the
yeah,
leadership role?
yeah, yeah.
That'd be
I
interesting.
think he just becomes a maniac and takes over. But like he just gets so drunk with power. He's just like, yeah, man, this is my shit now.
Hmm.
But I think he finishes top four in the block. I don't want to say three. I'm not even confident in three, just because I think these points are going to be hard to come by in A block. So
I
I'll
think
say
top
he
four is
finishes like
fine.
top four.
Yeah, I can see that.
Best match for Big Toke, Keno. If he's trying, Keno.
Yeah, I already said that. I think Ozawa and him have
Yeah,
a low floor, high ceiling, but I think
yeah.
confidently, I think it'd be Keno.
I kind of want to say Marufuji just because it's in Osaka, but I don't think they'll really have a long match. I think it'll just be alright as far
Yeah.
as like time wise. Um, it would be Galeno if it wasn't opening night. If it was any other night, then yeah, it'd be Galeno. But
Mm.
opening nights just got too much going on. And then
Yeah,
lastly,
that's
Ruth
how it is
asks
these days.
if you could replace someone from each block, who leaves and who takes their place. Okay, well, this is very easy for me. So I'm replacing Fujita with Shiozaki, and I'm replacing Ricky Knight Jr. with Takashi Sugiura. Hope that helps.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's actually what I was going to bring up. Why is Marufuji back? Has he
Because he
said
declared
anything?
earlier in the year that he wanted in.
Okay.
I ideally think if Shiozaki was back earlier,
Yeah.
he would have been in. I think they just wanted to load it up, but
Um,
but yeah.
I would take out Ricky Knight Jr. and put in the GHC Women's Champion Takumi Iroha. Um, and we'll see how that goes.
Mm.
No, but really, I think I yeah, I mean, Go's like an obvious one. I would
Mhm.
put Go in over Marufuji, honestly.
Okay, I guess we'll frame it like this because Sugiura said a long time ago that if he didn't win the last one he was in, he wasn't going to be in again, which
Hmm.
was probably just to preserve him. And then Go's obviously coming off a double knee surgery, which people don't know, but yeah, that's why he's not in. So if we're not counting them, um, the Great Sakuya would be a good one.
You know,
But I
uh,
listen, I it for starters, the people I'm replacing are Fujita and Ricky Knight Jr. Um,
mm,
in the A block, I would put Junta Miyawaki just because I think it'd be fun. In the B block, I would put Etsushi Toge or Muhammad Yone because I need some old head in Team Noah to join this tournament.
um, for Ricky Knight Jr., I would replace him. Uh, this is just like a fever dream because I am trying to like I think if Ricky Knight Jr. wasn't here, it would still be a white dude.
Mm-hmm.
So or a foreigner rather. Uh, I have for the past like 10 years been on the agenda of get Trevor Lee to Japan. So put Trevor Lee in over Ricky Knight Jr. Thank you. Um, he isn't as like he doesn't fit the style as much as he did 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he was younger, like his goal was to go to Japan,
Yeah.
and it's not so much anymore because he's like a father and shit. But I've always wanted Trevor Lee in, so if I could replace Ricky Knight Jr. with any like indie uh foreigner, I would go Trevor Lee. Um, as for otherwise, Katsu Nakajima in instead of fucking Marufuji.
I was going to say, I don't think he,
I don't think he goes here. I don't think they like
yeah,
him here no more.
I think he's got other stuff he's doing.
Sesu. In fact, put Takanori Ito. let's just kill Glade and take their people. Why
You
not?
know what? GHC stands for Global Happy Chica. Put Go Chica in the A block, man. Fuck this. This is our show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, we do what we want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like these. Like I said, I realistically I would want a beefy guy in B block so I can get that Daikinaba match, or just somebody that like fucking beats the fuck out of you. Like put Mad Mikey Nichols in.
Should
Give
she
me.
shut up about Mad Mikey
I
Nichols?
will never
For
shut
the
up about
love
Mad
of
Mikey
God.
Nichols.
Two
It's his
tournament
birthday today.
previews in a row. Two tournament previews in a row. Mad Mikey Nichols has come up.
Where is
This
Mad
is
Mikey Nichols?
it's his birthday. They
It
told him happy
is
birthday, and I was like, bro, I did not know he was still employed. I didn't know they paid him.
allegedly.
Like, yeah, like, come
Allegedly.
on. Like,
Uh,
bro.
they're wait. Oh man, give me OG TMDK versus the KOB. But that's just me. That's another story.
I
Um,
wish my man Marcel Barthel wasn't doing the whatchamacallit gimmick because he would have been my pick for
Grande
WWE.
Americano.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Gunther's not on TV. Just put it out there. But
That's true.
that's neither here or there.
That's true.
So I guess what we should do is we should lock in a final and we should lock in a
Mhm.
winner before we get on out of here. Um, it's genuinely tough. I I'm just gonna say Kaito over Ozawa with Kaito
Mhm.
versus Kenta being the Ryogoku main. So what do you think?
I think who does? Oh yeah, no, I know that. I think I'm going Kaito over Jack.
Okay, that's fair.
Did they run that in a tournament final before,
No,
or
not in
was
the
that just
final, but
not
they
final?
ran
That
it
was
as a
way.
GAC heavy match. That was the
Yeah,
start of GOG.
yeah, no, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think. Oh, I know what it was.
Actually,
Jack Morris.
Kaito,
Jack Morris beat Kaito in his
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah,
N1
match in
match. That's
Japan.
what it was.
Yeah,
Um,
Kaito beat his ass, and then Okada came out and beat his ass.
but yes, yeah, that was. Yeah, so I think Kaito over Jack. I think it's Jack's kind of farewell. And Jack's been a good hand this whole time. It's kind of crazy he never, or he got the natty. What am I talking about? I was
Mhm.
going to say he never won a singles, but he got the natty for quite a while. So yeah, I think that's where we're going because yeah, Kaito versus Kenta at Ryogoku just
Yeah,
sounds right.
I kind of want to lock in them drawing just to do that. I think it's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even Kaito just beats him. I think that's fine too. I think
Kaito,
it's just
yeah.
a matter. The only thing that scares me is I don't know if they want to do rematches like that. That's why I'm thinking a draw is what you need to do to sell it. But we'll see.
Yeah, obviously, I did also kind of tease the Endo versus Ozawa match, but that is really hard of a sell to have Endo winning in that block. Um, it's just kind of difficult. You know what I mean? He would
Well,
kind of have to like he kind of have to like luck his way into a win, into wins, or have like Kaito be dropping upsets and Kenta be drawing like 3 times, sort of thing,
yeah.
to go through. So that'd be hard sell, but I do think that's an interesting final. But yeah, I'd say
Mhm.
Kaito over Morris is my lock in.
Yeah. Okay. At least we're on the boat of Kaito wins. The
I was
only
initially with Ozawa, but I feel like they should wait. Like they should hold off a bit longer on
I
getting
I
back to
thought Ozawa would just win the N1 to stack because, like, bro, Tokyo Sports MVP is wide open. Like, New Japan has fumbled this beyond belief, and I can't believe they allowed this to happen. But it's wide open, and with Ozawa being a net positive to business, I figured they would just pad his stats and just let him win the N1. I don't think he would have won the title back or anything. I just figured
that.
they would just did that. But with the second Ryogoku show being announced, I expect this match to be there, and I don't think they will make the fans pay for two Kenta versus Ozawa matches at Ryogoku. Like, if it was a different venue, okay, but the fact they were both at Ryogoku, I don't think they'll just do that.
Wasn't Kaito or no, it was Zach who wanted to face someone.
Yeah,
I thought it was Kaito wanted to face Zach.
it's Zach
Uh,
wanted to face Kaito,
yeah, then
and
never mind.
Kaito was just like, yeah, sure, why not?
And that's in October.
Yeah, whenever that's probably like King of Pro Wrestling season, so I doubt
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say.
Oh wait, no, King of Pro Wrestling's the in November because I saw because the promotional stuff for King of Pro Wrestling in Japan is up,
Hmm,
and oh no, it's October. It's October 13th. So no,
that's
he's
King
not
of
going
Pro
to be
Wrestling.
champion by then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, okay.
because the promotional stuff is up in Japan, and
Well, maybe this is assuming that Takeshita wins over Zach.
yeah. But
But
like I
they would
said,
have to be building it,
the
so it's just
promotional
yeah,
stuff is up in Japan, and Oi was on it. So like, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Kaito just because if there was like smoke to that fire, or if there
Yeah.
was fire to that smoke, rather, I could see them going with someone else so that
Hmm.
Kaito can challenge for the world title, for the IWGP world title.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Kaito just wins here.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
cool with
agree.
that. We're both Kaito fans. People will roll their eyes, but I think those people are wrong and stupid. Um,
He still
he's like
he
he's
still
still one of the
bends
best in the world.
over New Japan's young guys and spanks them with his bare hands by far. Listen, guy like Kaito Kiyomiya, he would have just won. He would have just beat Evil. But Yoda Tsuji couldn't. He would have just beat him. I'm just saying. But that's neither here or there.
Give me
Um,
Kaito versus Yuya.
yeah.
Actually, that's the one match. I loved him in Oiwa, but we need the other good one.
It won't be as good as the oil one because oil is better, but it'll
Oh,
still be really
eh,
fun.
I
Uh,
don't know about that.
I do. It's definite. But any departing thoughts? If not, you can go ahead and do your plugs.
Yeah, I was happy to review or preview this tournament. I'm quite interested, quite intrigued in it.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, if you couldn't tell from my joke a little bit earlier, I am missing, like I'm missing Katsu, who got me into Noah. But I think
Well,
this year has really
Manami Katsu is defending
uh,
against Misakage
Katsuhiko
Takuma. So
Nakajima. For those who don't know, I was missing him a lot last
mhm.
year, but I think this year it's kind of starting to like really win me back. Not that I wasn't a fan, but it's starting to really win me back in spite of
Mhm.
my when I first started watching, my favorite guy was Katsu. So
Mhm.
I'm starting to really like get back into know and really enjoy it, and I am really excited for all these guys in this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if Fujita's last one, and in that sense, I'm very interested in kind of
He's
you
like
know
85, so probably.
that's what I mean. Like I'm interested in him really like maybe he'll go out hard, maybe he won't, maybe he will. So I'm interested in
Mhm.
those sorts of things. But yeah, happy to do this with you. We will be back next month with something. We'll see. We still gotta do an Nanai thing. Uh,
Yeah.
we gotta figure that out. But yeah, follow me on Twitter at xxichiban because I'm number 21 in the mic and number one in your heart. And yeah, check out Storm Quest Gold every single Wednesday on Spotify and wherever the fuck else you listen to shit. And yeah, I'm not writing anything right now. I should probably write something soon, but
Lazy.
I know I am lazy. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, take it away.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Xaviisms. I think it's three eyes, two eyes.
Three eyes.
Yeah, three eyes on Twitter, two eyes on the blue sky. As always, listen to the Stardust Press podcast every week. Me and that just chat about shit. The episode that should go up either tomorrow or Friday will be
Well, this is
us.
this isn't coming out until like probably like Sunday. So
Yeah, well, okay, well, it'll be out then. It'll be me and
yeah.
her talking about. I want to say it was the second week of Dreamstar stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, Dreamstar stuff, Marvelous versus Margold and Noah. So yeah, people lock in for that. But other than that, just keep a close eye out on my social media. Like I said, you'll get updates about the N1 series. I'm taking it seriously. If it's good, if it's bad, it doesn't matter. I've committed to it. So you'll see my thoughts on everything in real time. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed listening, and we would love feedback on this as well. If you want to leave a comment, hit us up, whatever it is.
Xavier didn't
Me,
eat this time.
yeah, I didn't. Somebody suggested I don't eat during these, and I was eating before this, so
Do you know how pissed
lucky.
I was? I wanted my Subway sandwich while we did this.
It's ridiculous. I'm still hungry. Um, but with that being said, Dylan, go ahead.
Oh, right. Well, I'm gonna
Every
need.
fucking time, God.
It's part of the bit. God, why you gotta say? If you didn't know, what you gotta do after you are finished listening to an episode of the No Limit Wrestling Show, you gotta call your mom, call your dad, call your sister, call your brother, tell your brother, sister, who's also your sister, tell your sister's boyfriend or girlfriend. Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Tell everybody that you fucking know. No Limit Wrestling Show is the best show in the business. 以上。